I would definitely recommend Eden Valley. I was diagnosed with triple negative stage 3 breast cancer. The tumor was very hard and well formed. Triple negative breast cancer didn't have a lot of survivors, hardly tell that it was there. I had seen this PBS special, a documentary on the Seventh-day Adventists. I have a very strong belief system myself, and I was a bit afraid that I was going to lose that if I actually gave myself over to the prayers of the Seventh-day Adventists.
Okay.
And it's like, yes, please pray for me. Absolutely. At the end of the 18 days, that tumor was
Hello, everybody. My name is Chelsea. I am the Lifestyle Director here at Eden Valley Institute, and I'm blessed to be here with my friend Dariel, and she is from Boulder. She was a lifestyle guest in 2014 and graduated from our Cancer Lifestyle Program. Dariel, how are you doing today?
I'm doing really great. It's really good to be here, Chelsea.
Good.
Yeah.
We're happy that you're here.
Mhm.
And Dariel, tell me a little bit about your cancer healing journey. When were you first diagnosed?
I was diagnosed in August of 2014, and I was diagnosed with triple negative stage 3 breast cancer, which is a very aggressive form of cancer. And I did go through chemotherapy.
Okay.
Halfway through chemotherapy, I knew that the chemotherapy was not addressing my form of cancer expressly, but it was the only thing that was available at that time. So I did go halfway through, and then I actually found out about the Truth About Cancer. It was a series that was on the internet.
With Ty
Bollinger.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Yeah. And it was, I realized after seeing the first session that my cancer really, that chemotherapy was very seldom, the answer to many forms of cancer.
Sure,
So it really wasn't the answer to my form of cancer, and I was losing body weight so substantially at that time that I was really afraid that I was going to die of lack of body weight. Rather than cancer. So I decided to stop that and begin to look for alternative ways of treating my cancer.
Okay.
Yeah.
So about halfway through, you stopped, and you were searching for more natural healing methods, alternative ways.
Yes.
How was it that you came across Eden Valley?
Well, I initially, while listening to the Truth About Cancer, they were out talking about cancer treatment programs in Mexico and other countries where they were doing alternatives to the American Medical Association way of treating cancer. But they were extremely expensive. I think it was going to be like $30,000 to go for 2 weeks to this place in Mexico. I knew that wasn't possible for me, so basically I began looking around elsewhere, and I had a friend that knew the head of the ranch here of Eden Valley. And she said, you might, they do treat cancer there, and you might want to go and check that out. And the amazing thing was that maybe a month before that, I had seen this PBS special, a documentary on the Seventh-day Adventists. And I realized that, I really, after seeing that documentary, I realized what incredible people the Seventh-day Adventists were, that they, did such wonderful work in other countries, and proselytizing was the last part of what they did. They really helped found a lot of hospitals, built a lot of hospitals in these countries, and I really, at the end of the documentary, I thought that was just really amazing. I really liked these people. And then when I heard that Eden Valley actually was run by the Seventh-day Adventists, I thought, I've got to go and check this out because it really sounds like these people, I would trust them. And so I was living with a friend in Boulder, getting treatment here and in Boulder. And so she said, well, I'm going to go with you, because I don't want you to be taken in by something that isn't, what it seems.
Sure. Yeah, that's good support.
So we made an appointment, came to Eden Valley, and both of us were so amazed at the picture that was painted for us of what the process would be. And they said that she actually had pancreatitis. Yeah, her pancreas was really damaged. So
you both came through the
we
program.
both came through. We both decided, okay, they were just going to start a program that Sunday. We were here on Friday.
Wow.
And we thought, okay, let's just do it. And so we did. And we were both so glad that we did. And it was an 18-day program at that time. And I was, the fever baths, I think the fever baths were definitely the most important thing that I did, because cancer hates heat.
Yes.
Hates heat. And I just, I hated those fever baths, but they were so powerful.
Yeah.
And so I think that was extremely important. And so were all the other
hydrotherapies
and the oxygen tent. Hyperbaric, yeah. Those were, but also, probably I can't say enough about the wonderful people that treated me, and how as you did today, that they would stop before doing any treatment and ask if we could pray, if they could pray for me. And it's like, yes, please pray for me. Absolutely. And during the time, I have to tell you this, during the time I was here, I have a very strong belief system myself. I have a very strong spiritual practice. And I was a bit afraid that I was going to lose that if I actually gave myself over to the prayers of the Seventh-day Adventists.
Okay.
But at a certain point, I just thought, so be it. I'm going to do whatever it takes. And it really, if I really want these prayers to work for me, I've got to be willing to open up to it.
Yeah.
So it was, so I really did that. And I feel like it really, it was a very blessed time. And, when as I said, I came in here, the tumor was very hard and well formed. And I had been told that triple negative breast cancer didn't have a lot of survivors, and at that time, and but I at the end of the 18 days, that tumor was just dissolving, and you could hardly tell that it was there anymore. And so I did ask Dr. Keith. I said, do you think that I could just let this cancer dissolve and let my body deal with it, getting rid of it? And he said, no, you can't. This was a dangerous cancer, and you've got to have it out. So I did that.
So and your next step was surgery?
Yes, right immediately after I left here. The next week, I had the surgery. And the funny thing is that, when I was doing my fever baths, I had a really wonderful technician. I think her name was Christine, but she and I would sing and sing, and it was so hard for me to stand those 20 minutes of, once I had reached 104 degrees. It was so hard to do that. But we would sing another song, and we'd sing another song. And my favorite one was, He Walks With Me and He Talks With Me. And we, and when I came out of surgery, my husband said, you were singing that song. I was singing it. And he said, you were so happy. And I was, It was just really something, And so I, part of that, I'm sure, was the oxycodone or whatever it was. I was looped. But I was really, I was really happy. I think that I felt like I was totally taken care of,
Yeah.
And that next week, my doctor called and said, your cancer was a tenth the size of what we thought it would be.
Wow.
And it is no longer aggressive.
Wow.
So, no, you do not have to go through any more chemotherapy or radiation.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So it sounds like, so in the beginning you went through the chemo route, but then decided that was not going to be what was best for you.
Yeah.
And so you found more alternative methods, and eventually Eden Valley, your experience here. And then you decided what was best was surgery and the doctor was surprised that the tumor was actually smaller than what they had
Yes, a
thought it
tenth the
would be.
size.
What do you think contributed to that smaller sized tumor?
Well, absolutely the fever baths and the other hydrotherapies. But also, at that time it was, I know that we did these bitter teas. Ugh, they were just disgusting. But
You know what they say, bitter to the mouth, sweet to the stomach.
yes, and I'm sure it was true. I
Yeah.
mean, there's a very famous man, Edward Griffin, who wrote a book I think he wrote a book on cancer. He wrote a book on a lot of things. He was very, eclectic in but he said, that it was, interesting that I came here too, and that it was that you were vegetarian. Is it vegetarian or are you actually vegan?
Well, we like the term whole food, plant-based.
Whole food, plant-based.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, he said that was very important when
Yeah.
you have cancer, because cancer cells are sheathed in protein, and that our body, our T cells, our killer cells, if there's nothing else, if there's no other protein, that it will recognize those cancer cells as being somebody that they should attack.
Yeah.
But if you're eating a lot of protein, it's not going to be as cut and dry, and a lot of the cancer cells are going to get away. So I thought, okay, during this period, I'm glad, I can be a vegan or whatever.
So you were willing to try
I'm willing.
something new.
Yes, and I think all those things, the bitter teas, the lack of protein, of animal protein, and what else? I mean, I felt like the whole program was just tailored to what I needed at that time, to really pull away from the outside world and just take, care of my body.
Yeah.
And today when I was looking at the charcoal, in the store, I realized, it was really important that my body be cleared out of all those chemotherapy drugs.
Sure, yeah.
And that charcoal was going to be a good way to do that. So.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
Wow, it sounds like your experience here was a great one.
It was a great one. It was. I have nothing but the, deep, deep gratitude for, for the staff here and are there four places like Eden Valley in the United States?
There are a lot.
There's a lot more than that.
There's smaller home type lifestyle centers, but I would say the bigger known ones are like Eden Valley, Uchee Pines, Wildwood, Black Hills. Those are the four main ones that I think of. Of course, there are other home type smaller settings as well.
Well, that's nice. Yeah, I think it was just such a blessing to me. I mean, honestly, I do feel like Eden Valley saved my life and the people here.
Wow.
It was, I didn't have a good prognosis.
Right. And now, 11 years later, how are you feeling? I'm
feeling really good. Yeah. I mean, I still have blood pressure, issues.
Yeah.
But other than that, I feel like I am, I'm healthier than I've ever been.
Wow.
And my form of cancer, if you were 3 years out from it, if you live 3 years beyond the diagnosis, then chances are you were going to beat it. That other forms of cancer came back, but this one did not come back, as a rule.
Yeah.
So definitely I've beaten the odds.
Yes. Wow. Praise God.
Yeah.
So Dariel, since you've been here, have you shared Eden Valley with other people? Has it helped maybe your family members in any way?
Many times, yes. I mean, I do. I come from a large family, and I have 2 brother-in-laws that have come here and been very happy with the treatment they got here, and I have several friends and that I've also have let know about Eden Valley, and they've come here and been very happy with the treatment here. So I'm always really glad to be able to send someone here, because I know that the treatment here is just extremely, it's extremely good. And, and probably one of the things that, that is most significant for me when I think about Eden Valley, again, is just a place to come away from the stresses of the world, where you can just concentrate on just being good to your body and good to your,
Yeah.
to your spiritual core.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's, I would always recommend people come here. And I've had lots of people that are very grateful. I had one friend who had brain cancer, and she should have died, but she lived for many years after coming to Eden Valley and would come back for, the fever baths.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a lot of friends who've come here.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, you're like our recruiter now.
Yeah.
We should pay you.
I'm glad to be a recruiter, I was glad to be that. Yeah.
Dariel, is there anything that you would like to share with someone that might be watching to encourage them in their own healing journey from cancer?
Yeah, well, I would certainly say that that Eden Valley is, for me, it was the perfect place for me to come and deal with, cancer. And it was a really, my prognosis was not good. It was a very aggressive form of cancer. But the alternative treatments here and the love of the people, the real dedication to actually serving God and serving their fellow human beings was extremely important. And I didn't realize how important until I got here. 18 days was the program I went through, and it was well worth it. I really, everything that was done here felt like it was extremely beneficial to my body and my soul, because I think that the soul, the spiritual core, has to go along with the journey, has to go along with the cure in order for it to really be effective. So I would definitely recommend Eden Valley to anyone who is actually suffering from cancer of any sort.
So, Dariel, thank you so much for visiting with us. It's always great to see you. And may God bless your healing journey as you continue, as you're 11 years cancer-free now. Yeah. And we're really thankful that we've had this time together.
Thank you. It's good to be here with you.
If you're interested in joining one of our 14-day lifestyle programs, please visit our website at eden-valley.org and apply today.